Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is enjoying their day. Happy New Year. And I know it's a few days in, but I just want to come on here and hope that everyone has a happy and a prosperous new year. Hopefully, you take the time to do something different this year and be better than what you were last year. If it's your first time to the Building Community Trust channel, I just want to say welcome and thank you for tuning in to today's video. My goal is to be more involved, be more active on this channel. There's a lot going on that I definitely we can talk about, and I just want to pop on here and do a quick just talk about a few things. If you have been tuning in to the RBC channel, again, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Please continue to share. Also, go ahead and like this video so the algorithm can spread this video to others. And of course, I hope you take away from today's topic. Go ahead and jump on the other videos as well if you want to, if you're interested. Also, Freedom Fighters channel, my gospel channel, and Breaking Barriers Ministries, which is the channel for marriage and relationships. If I can put the links in the description below if you're interested, and you can go ahead and jump on those channels. So I want to come on here today to share something. We're already into the 4th day of the new year in January, and it's been some interesting events. And those who follow the news, those who are active into research and active into knowing what's going on around you, you already probably heard about what's going on. It's happened in the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and it's already been spread around the different news feeds and channels. The two events was the New Orleans attack on the New Orleans Bourbon Street. Shaddam Ben Jabbar, if I'm saying his name correctly, he took a Ford pickup and ran it through and killed 14 and injured 30 plus. Also, the second event was the Cybertruck explosion incident in Las Vegas in the Trump International Hotel. And very interesting, a lot coming out about those two events, even still. And so my caption, I was just listening to these events, doing some deeper research, and it just came to me the two topics. There's one topic really, but to share. And before I start sharing, there is constant updates. There is a lot of things being said about these two individuals and the events and what the purposes are for those events that happened. In no way I'm justifying these events. In no way I'm justifying any type of death to anyone, because it's still loved ones that are affected by this. But there's interesting commentary and about why some of these things happened, and I want to focus more on the contributing factors of what I see. Being a current active duty service member, okay, and I just see this stuff every day. I want to kind of focus on that. My suggestion is for you to do research. If you're interested in why things happen, there's more than what is being said. We know the multinational, multi-powered news medias we hear every day. We know that they have an agenda. We know that. So there's other things that there's other information or knowledge that's being put out about these individuals and what they did, and I kind of want to I don't want to focus on that per se. I would just say this, for these different reasons and more information coming out. It's interesting. It's interesting to hear about the reasons why the Cybertruck explosion happened. It's interesting to hear what the correlation is to the political perspectives, and I just think people should do their own research and to look at more than what the eyes are saying, more than what is being said. It's important to really look into that and kind of get your own perspective of what's going on around you. That's in anything, not just for shootings and killings, but any type of aspect of news media. You want to do your own research. So the topic I want to focus on is contributing factors. And one of the things that in my thought process, I was thinking through two of the things that were said, and we take the media for a grain of salt because, again, I just said there's more things to come to the surface. But just thinking about just the two things they were saying. Shaddam Ben Jabbar, he had 3 divorces or going on his 3rd divorce, and he had financial troubles. The Green Beret Army soldier, he had marital issues, and it was accused of infidelity and accused for other family issues. These events, between the financial perspective and other events, I want to bring up another couple of cases that I looked into as well for military members. But these contributing factors, do these contribute to people going off the deep end, right? Do these contribute for people's lives to move someone to the end to where they want to take a life? Now, this is something that I've noticed. As you listen to this, if you choose to listen to this, right, or watch this video, one of the things is you probably thinking in your head that that's not really why they did it. You're probably thinking, well, this is, if you're not doing the research, you're going to suspect that this is one of many factors of why they did what they did, right? And that's just any type of mass shooting or someone who goes and does a crime as this magnitude. We can talk about Columbine. We can talk about the Sandy Hook. We can talk about all these different shootings, even the one recently where a 15-year-old girl shot and killed a teacher and another student a couple of weeks before Christmas. So we can go into these different events, but for military members, contributing factors: divorce, financial issues, PTSD from dealing with combat, the lifestyle, the perspectives, mental illness. These things I think about, right? I think about these things as potentially being contributing factors. So when it comes to divorce, this is something that I see on a daily basis. I see this. I'll take that back. I want to say a daily basis, but I will see this a lot. Sometimes it could be a weekly basis, a monthly basis. Sometimes it can be beyond, just a lot, right? Consistency. And what I say that means because of the type of work. It depends on what type of job that you do in the military. I work for the legal department, so I deal with people we come into the spaces where they're dealing with these hard types of issues. They're dealing with divorce. They're dealing with cheating. They're dealing with, a lot of these things. So I can understand when you're having marital issues, and that can be a contributing factor. I also too went through a divorce. So understanding that, I see the pressures and the financial perspective that it takes away from that person, right? You have to support the children. You have to support the wife, depending on how long you're married. There's situations in place that you have to abide by when it comes to divorce. So when I think about, you hear these backgrounds, and again, right, it's a factor. It's not a complete 100% reason, but it's a factor that this person was going to, Jabbar, I'm just going to say his last name. He was dealing with divorce. He was dealing with financial issues. He was on the verge of losing his home. He was on the verge of dealing with so many different pressures. And also the frustrations of not getting assistance for veterans. This is what also, when I read in articles, and there's articles that talk about this, right? And there's articles that talk about this, the lack of assistance, right, for veterans to get the help they need. But does that constitute someone going out here doing this? No, it shouldn't constitute. There's a lot of veterans, and I also agree that this should not constitute you going out and hurting people and killing people. This should not constitute you going out and causing destruction to people because of your problems. Now, when we think about the mental health perspective, when we're thinking about, I was looking at an article, and this is something I actually dealt with personally in training. But there was Aaron Alexis back in 2013 on the Navy Yard shooting. And one of the things, he was dealing with a lot of mental illness. He was dealing with a lot of violent outbursts, and it caused a lot of issues, and eventually led him to do the crime that he committed. He killed a lot of people in the Navy Yard shooting as a contractor. Okay, that's one of the biggest ones, because a lot of people personally was affected by those individuals that lost their lives, especially in the military community or in the interface of the contracting or the naval systems world. So when we think about this, right, we think about mental illness, we think about all this stuff that goes on in that realm. What is, how often can people get the help they need inside the organization and outside the organization? You can get it when you're in the side of active duty, but what about when you're going to the VA? What about when you're dealing with sources outside, or people getting their actual treatment? There was an interesting article too, where they said that the cyber truck explosion, the guy that did that, right, the Green Army Beret, it was a suicide attempt or suicide action, and due to his marital issues. So when I think about that, again, from just a factor perspective, what are some things we can do? What are some things that what do y'all think that can be done to help alleviate some of these issues? And I know there's going to be probably a lot of different perspectives and views about this, because some people may disagree that veterans are getting the help they need. Some people disagree that we're getting the help we need as active duty members. But what are some things that we can do? I ain't gonna say we, but the government or those that can do something about it. What can be done? Because what I'm afraid of, and not so much afraid of, but it's just more or less military members, whether veterans and military members, are going to be labeled as extremists, or going to be labeled as those who are potentially could go off the deep end. And you have the person that's trained, you have the person that, think about a Green Beret. This man it can take out. Man is highly trained. He knows combat. He knows combat systems. He knows weapons. He knows tactical movements, right? And now he's off the deep end, and he has an agenda. He has something to prove. He doesn't have his mental illness is out of control, or he's having issues at home. What happens when someone has issues at home? What happens when that context of closeness is affected? Your wife, your husband, your children, your finances. These are things that people take and hold near and dear. So when you violate and you mess with that, what are people going to do? They're going to go off the deep end. So now my home is messed up. My home life is messed up. So now I don't have a purpose for living. I don't have a purpose for any of this for life. All I know is what I know. So therefore, I'm gonna go off the deep end. You know what I'm saying? We're late. That's what people are starting to be labeled as. This is the extent they're turning in on the military. We're the very people that we swear an oath to protect the USA and all domestic properties and domestic and foreign territories. We're protecting the nation. So now these people that we're supposed to protect the nation, they're now turning on and doing the same exact thing that those that we're supposed to be protecting from are doing. They talk about the radicalization of ISIS and how they can attack and affect veterans. There was an article about it I was just reading. And we think about Jabbar, and we think about how he got in touch with ISIS. There is an agenda or an idolization to where people are saying, I believe in this. It could be religious basis through Islam. It could be from political basis. I may not care for my leadership. I disagree with my leadership and what they're doing. I disagree with how they're treating the American people. I disagree how they're dealing with the financial piece, taxes, anything we can think of. So therefore, I have an agenda to now I have a purpose of living again, to now go out here and do destructive habits, which costs people's lives, which puts a plug into now people have to be mindful. This is where gun control comes in. Everybody wants to do gun control. Everybody wants to do these different movements now to try to curtail these types of events. But now we're looking into the deeper piece. There's other things coming to the surface. There's exposure coming to certain people. There's programs. There's intelligence. There's all types of things. All right. So now, what is the easiest scapegoat? To say now that military members, active, reserve, or even retired, now veterans, are they demonized because of what just happened? Because these two people that did this were military, right? Now people don't want. Now they're going to turn on the military and say, well, we should now do programs and curtail the military because it's a different lifestyle, right? There's a certain type of mindset you got to have to serve in the United States military, or any military in the world, to be honest. So the contributing factors. What is it that causes people to go off the deep end? And these things that as a military member, I have to be conscious of and say, okay, how can I do this on what I can do? to make sure people don't go off the deep end. It's only, and then again, there's only so much you can do, but what can I do? As a veteran, what can I do as a veteran to make sure that I'm getting the treatment I need, get the help I need? What are some things that we can be brought to in reference to politically? Because again, we got to think about it. January 20th is coming up real soon. And there's a lot of different opinions, views, perspectives. There's a lot of different things that people are dealing with, and they feel some type of way about what's going on when it comes to new administration. And what that new administration does, it affects everyone, right? Or affects the levels. We talk about state, federal, local laws, right? These laws are being passed, the executive orders, the power of these offices and these positions, they affect how people live their lives. So when something doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, that person responds according to. That person responds with a message and say, look, this you're doing this is jacked up and it's wrong and it's going to cost you. It's going to cost people's lives. And then unfortunately, innocent people get caught up in the crossfire. Innocent lives get caught up in the crossfire. Loved ones are affected. People that are injured, their lives have changed forever. Now they got to live with this scar or this stigma of now this happened to me on a night that I'm supposed to be enjoying my night, or this happened to me when I'm supposed to be in school, or this happened to me when I'm supposed to be out and about. Now my life's changed forever. And therefore, I can't live my life the same. All because a person was affected with a contributing factor. Finances, way of life, quality of life, and family. These are the contributing factors that when people are touched in these areas, it affects them. When you touch someone's wife and kid or husband and kid, it affects them. When you touch someone's finances, it affects them. When you touch their quality of lifestyle or how they live their lives, it affects them. When you touch their mind, it affects them. Interesting too. I'm going to probably just list off a couple of articles. But there was another couple of examples back into 1966. Charles Whitman, military veteran who became known as the Texas Tower Sniper, on August 1st, 1966, he killed 17 people at the University of Texas. Okay. Back in 2012, former Army sniper who killed 16 Afghan civilians. The famous DC snipers back in 2002. Lee Boy Malvo and another Muhammad, John Allen Muhammad, killed 17 people. Right? These examples. And then today with the Aaron Alexis in 2013. And I know it was another individual that was a sniper, and he was, I think it's in California, but he was killing people. I think he was Army or Navy. Can't give his name right now. If you know the name, put it in the comments. And then today. And there's many more. I'm just covering a few. And then not today, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we have 2 military members, one active and one is a veteran. So we got to think: what is the people saying? What are y'all saying about military members? What are some ways that the administrations, the powers that be, those who can do something about it? What are some ways we can make it better for veterans? And make it better for those who serve, so that they get the better help and treatment to maintain their mental health and to make sure they get able to live in jobs. And I know there are programs now that helps veterans. There are programs that support veterans. There's things are better now than they used to be. But we're having the highly trained turn against the very oath that we swore to protect. So I wasn't intending this to be long. It's just interesting, and again, there's more to the eye. Okay, and I'm sure those who know this, they watch, they research and study, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There's a lot more to it than what it is. There's stuff coming out, and I'm sure there's more to come. But for the basis level, for what the media does say and what the research does say in regards to the mainstream media, contributing factors are marital and financial issues. And with that, seeing it every day or seeing it often in my line of work, I can agree that it can lead, that can cause people to push people to the edge. Marital issues, where's domestic violence, marital issues that can have some type of abuse in them, sexual abuse, all these things, kids, step parents, all this stuff. I've seen so much, right? And when you see so much, you start to kind of understand why people go off the deep end. And then you have the perspective for finances. You have my money's being touched. I'm not getting paid. Aaron Alexis said he's not getting paid the way he should get paid. You know, he said that in one of his in the articles that I'm reading. He's not getting paid. They're messing with the money, and he starts to become violent. Now, does this give a person right to do this stuff? No, I'm not saying it's right, but this is what the factors show. This is what the research shows. So the question is, and I'm going to end this video, I'm not going to be long, but the question is, one, how can we better help veterans? How can we help the military system, all branches, not just Navy, but all branches, to where we can help people that are in active duty or in the reserves? How can we benefit to where things are better than what they are? Because some people may agree that things are good, and some people may disagree that things are not. And how do we deal with the ideologies and political perspectives of dealing with people that get involved in this? This is a bigger agenda. Let's just say no question about it. This is a bigger agenda than we ever seen. Politically evolved agenda. And let's just be 100 about it, right? Because that's what it is. Those who are in office, administrations that's in office, people are reacting to who's in office. People are reacting to the policies and the agendas of those who are in office. That's just what it is. Second question is, does these contributing factors that causes military members, whether active or veterans or reserves or retired, whatever way you want to put it, those contributing factors put a stigma of the military in your mind? Does this change the way how you feel about the military? Does this give you an idea of this is what's happening in the armed forces and my tax dollars that I'm paying? And that's not really a big deal. But the fact that what are my tax dollars going to, and why are people responding the way that they're responding? Why are military members going out and doing these things? Aren't they supposed to serve and protect? Aren't they supposed to be able to stand? Or are they supposed to? I'm using a little bit of not grammatically correct. I'm sorry. I'm saying aren't they, but shouldn't they? Should they be able to serve and protect and not do these things? Why are they doing these things? One-offs, you can say one-offs. Oh, that's just one person. That's just one perspective, one view, one soldier, one Navy, whatever. But look at the damage that's caused. Well, look what New Year's, the holiday season, a time of peace and restoration and relaxation. But now people are dead. People are injured. And let's not even go to the Bronx and New York and go into the other Maryland and go into the other places where shootings, and that's not military. But look, this is the time where there's a lot of bloodshed right now, right? A lot of bloodshed right now. And we always continue to pray for the lost and for those who are affected by the lost, those who lost their lives in these events. But for this particular topic, well, these contributing factors gives you a black eye, gives the military a black eye. And can leadership fix it? Can leadership deal with the extremism in the military ranks? Can leadership point out or diagnose or observe these things in the military today? So that's the kind of the questions I have. And or is just a one-off? Or is it just a one-off? Or is it just this one person who's lost their mind and they have problems at home and they should do better and get the help they need? We can say that. But I have a feeling, and this is just a feeling. Who am I, right? This is just a feeling that this may not be the end, right? And I'm not trying to spread fear. I'm not trying to give people doom and gloom. That's what the word doom and gloom is being spread around a lot. I'm not trying to cause people to fear and have panic. I'm not trying to cause people to feel some type of way about the United States military. But being realistic about what's going to happen as the days get closer to President Donald Trump, or President-elect Donald Trump, come into office, and his cabinet and his appointees that he's picked to take over his administration. You think about it. You think about that right there and see what's going to happen from there. I just, again, pray for those who have lost their lives, their families more so. Pray for their families that are suffering because of the loss. And again, I know we advocate that this is right. And it's always to stick to what we've been sworn to do, is to serve and protect everyone is possible in the United States. and those who attach themselves to the United States. So take this time and think about that. Always, my biggest thing for RBC is to educate, empower, and to give those to be informed of what's going on around them. Okay? And take this time to research and look into. Don't put your head in the sand. This is not the time to put your head in the sand. It's not your time to just focus on, well, I'm just going to do me. Take the time and take a few minutes to reflect on what's around you. This is part of the new year change. Reflect on what's around you and be able to open your eyes and see what's going on and plan accordingly to what's going on around you. So that's all I got. As more comes out and interesting perspectives, because I don't want to just report on everything that's being said, because you have the news media for that, and you have resources to tap into that, social media and news and all this other stuff, Patreon, and many outlets. But I try to want to kind of put a perspective on this, and as things come out and things continue to unfold, I'm going to try to capture on videos perspectives and questions to get you to kind of stimulate thought and say, okay, that makes sense, or hey, that don't make sense. And maybe get you to question what's going on around you and get you to see a little bit deeper than what you normally would see. So that's kind of my approach to this now. When as things unfold, when things continue to evolve and change, because they are and they will, to get you to kind of see things a little bit differently. So that's my goal for the videos that I'm going to put out. So as things unfold, I'm going to definitely do videos and say, hey, what do y'all think about this perspective and view? Because it's all on the news. It's all on your articles and your blogs. It's all on your YouTube. It's all on your newspapers, right? Newspapers are putting this stuff out. So you can deduce from there. But think about it from a perspective that you normally don't think about it. So again, Happy New Year. Hope y'all are well. Hope y'all enjoying your time. And again, I'm going to try to be more active on this channel, because I know sometimes I can disappear. If those who are interested and like what I say, I'm going to try my best to be on here more and give you more stimulating content. Try. So y'all be blessed. Please like the video. Please share it with others. Please continue to support RBC, Breaking Barriers Ministries, and Freedom Fighters Ministries. Those are the channels I have, and they all have content that, especially the Freedom Fighters, is going to bless you. All right. So see y'all in the next video, and y'all have a great day.